Welcome back to I've Got Something to Tell You with Tayler and
Colleen.
We're comfy on the couch today.
Yeah.
I feel like I always have to talk about our environment before we get into
We have
anything.
to set the scene.
Mm-hmm. We haven't sat on the couch in forever and it just sounded really cozy right now.
Yeah. I like it. It's a vibe.
And Colleen has an iced coffee. And it fits the vibe too.
Mm-hmm. Tayler made me an iced coffee.
Yeah.
We're coffee shop voices right now.
I know. Coffee shop tuning in with Tayler and Colleen. Just kidding. I have an energy drink and I feel like it's more like a slap in the face.
Later on, she's gonna be like,
I know it sounded really good right now, but I might regret it later.
It's gonna be a vibe roller coaster.
Stay tuned. We'll see. So anyway, what have you been up to?
I feel like not that much. Walking around. Went on my walk before I came over here. Thanks for letting me come over a little bit later so I could get my walk in.
I will never complain about you coming over later because I was scrolling. But you did inspire me to go on a walk after work. It was a little toasty today.
Yeah.
I think because it's getting hot and there's just a lot more bugs out. And they're always coming for me. There's so many bees and wasps out.
Yes.
Like, it's such a weird word to say, wasps. But one literally, because I walk on a walking path and it's pretty wide open. Like I'm not walking next to like any bushes or anything. Two flew right in front of me and I had to like dodge them. And I was like, this is just my life now.
Oh my God.
And I told you about the bee incident.
Yes.
The bee on my neck.
But you have to tell the other bee story.
So I was paying my karmic debt. So we'll start from story number one. Me and my friend Brittany went to a brewery and we were sitting kind of side by side. And in my peripheral, I saw something on her. And then I looked and I was like, oh my God, it's a bee. And so like I grabbed all my stuff.
She says nothing.
I was like full panic as if the bee was on me. It was like an evacuation, kind of.
I'd be out of here.
I'm buzzing right out of there, man. But I was like 2 tables away. And then I was just like, there's a bee on you. Like, I was like pointing and I felt so bad. She's like, oh my God, just try to get it off.
I know one of your favorite gifts is that like, what's his face? Simpson. Going back into the bushes.
Yeah, that was me that day. Worst friend of all time. And she actually didn't get mad at me. Thank God.
My favorite is that zero words were said. The way that Tayler described this to me.
Silence.
She said nothing. She just got her stuff, silently walked away, got about 2 to 3 tables away, and then was like, danger's in you. Like on you now.
And people witnessed it happen. So so bad.
I love it.
But then my sister and I were walking to a coffee shop and of all days too, it was a really windy day. So it's just like, how did you land on me? And
determined.
Yeah, it was determined. It was like, bitch, you got karma to pay and I'm gonna collect. So we were standing in line and there was also people behind us. So I don't know why they didn't tell me. And
that's just
rude.
Tayler.
What?
You did the same thing.
Okay, you're right.
To a close friend.
The betrayal.
Also, end the story because that will tell you why they didn't tell you.
Okay. And then I went to like fix my hair and then I was like felt something on my neck and I was like thinking it was like my necklace like got twisted around. I was like, wait, I'm not wearing my necklace today. And then I tried like pushing it and I felt it running and then I put my hand again and I felt the little prick of the stinger, but it didn't sting me though. I could just feel it. And then I was like, oh my God, is there something on my back? And Tara was like, oh my God, it's a bee. And then she's like, what do we do? I'm like, get it off. And so she flicked it and it landed on a table. And she was like, should we tell him? I was like, no.
See?
I know.
The karma cycle starts again.
I know. I was just like, I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to be like, you're a 35-year-old woman. Like, you get it. I would never.
I will say Taylor's reactions to bugs are so
They just like the shock factor. They surprise me.
There was one time when we were in downtown Mesa that one night with Norman. I saw a bug and I knew you didn't see it.
It wasn't just a bug.
It was a roach. It was disgusting.
Clarify. Okay.
Yeah. And it was pretty gnarly. And I like veered off to the side, but I didn't tell Tayler, and I knew, and I was like, look. And then she just freaked out.
I feel like I jump like 10 feet high in my head. Like,
she goes like full Heisman, like
I go to the moon. And I just remember Norman was like, the cockroach was probably like, dance.
Yes.
It was so funny. They just scare me. I've never been stung by anything before.
I have.
I know. Well, so that plays into it a little bit. Because I've never been stung. But then the ones that don't sting, they still freak me the fuck out.
Oh, no, all of it. I get it. I'm terrified of butterflies. I have nowhere to, like, speak on this.
She's terrified of the most, like, pretty bugs.
Ew. They're not.
But a cockroach, she's like, I'd be fine.
No, I don't like a cockroach either. I don't like any bug, but I don't be trusting butterflies. The way they move.
They're sketchy as fuck.
They're sketchy as fuck. That fluttering, don't trust it.
You got something against butterflies.
I know. Maybe we should take that up in my next
I feel like you should
session.
do some regression.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some.
Where does it come from?
I feel like you covered it up for some reason. You must have had a traumatic butterfly experience in another lifetime where there were giant butterflies.
Truthfully, I haven't, but I do know other people that are scared of butterflies, so it's like a real thing.
It's still a bug.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. She's looking at me judgy.
I was remembering because we talked about this in another episode, and I remember I said we went to the Butterfly Museum and they do that up close camera of them. And when you do see them that way, you're like, okay, that's a bug. And it's not just wings.
And they do some read up on butterflies, look up butterfly stuff. It's disgusting. Like they do some sketchy stuff. All right, moving on from trauma. What else has been going on?
I feel like I haven't really been doing anything exciting. But, well, I talked to you about watching Love on the Spectrum. I just binge watched that. And I also feel like when it gets into summer, my brain fast forwards to fall. And I think because like a lot of, I mean, the weather's, it's not too bad right now. But like later on, it's like you can't do a whole lot of like outside stuff. So I always like, there's 3 shows I always like to watch for fall. And it depends if I'm in the mood to watch them too. Because like one of them is Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
But sometimes they piss me off a little bit when I watch it. Like as an adult now, I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I get that. But as like a kid, you totally relate to it because
I'm like, she's not immature. She's so right.
Yeah.
The mom now, I'm like, you dumb bitch. Just kidding.
Okay.
Like, be more responsible, Lorelai. I'm just kidding.
Anyway. You're not a friend, you're a parent.
I know. Grow up. And then Pretty Little Liars. I feel like that's a good fall one.
Yeah, that is a good fall one.
And then Vampire Diaries.
Ooh, I love that you watched Vampire Diaries.
I know. That's the one I think I'm going to go with because I also want to watch the originals after. And I like that one better than the Vampire Diaries.
You know what I've been watching that I guess I haven't brought up to you, but I love it so much. So like I have a good rotation of like kind of like TV sitcoms that I go back through, like the like the standard, like The Office, like 30 Rock, Parks and Rec. Like I'll rewatch those. But I've been watching Modern Family.
I love Modern Family.
It is so funny. And it's so like feel good and just like, I mean, like it has my sense of humor. I love a play on words. I love a pun. Like, and they're so good at that. The writers on that show.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
And I mean, like Phil is my favorite.
He's hilarious.
He's so underratedly funny. And then, but the other night, because like we'll turn on a show to like go to sleep to or whatever. And like Modern Family, I've been watching it pretty consistently. So like we just kind of turn it on to fall asleep to now because I don't have to pay attention. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And Kyle turned it on, and then it was like the very last episode. I was like, why would you put this on? I'm gonna cry. Like, because
you want me to cry before I go to bed?
Well, they do like this whole like behind the scenes thing with the cast and like how the cast came together, and it was just very, very sweet. And then I'm like, okay, we're gonna go back to like season 3 though. Yeah, start over again.
And Luke is so cute when he's little.
I know.
I like forget how little they are in season 1.
They literally grew up, and there's like so much behind the scenes stuff that's like sad, but I think.
Oh, and Lily, she's like literally a baby.
Literally a baby. Mm-hmm. And then like Julie Bowen, I think that's the Claire. Mm-hmm. She like really bonded with the 2 girls that play her daughters. Mm-hmm. And I was reading stuff about her because they both went through some like really bad stuff like while they were filming. And like Julie like stepped in and like really played like a true mom role.
That's so cute.
I know. I was like, it's very heartwarming. It's a very funny show, but then like it's fun to read like not fun, I guess, but.
No, but I like when you learn like how close they are outside of it, because it makes it like even better watching the show, because you're like, they really have this relationship.
Liked each other.
Yeah. Because sometimes you'll read stuff where like the castmates like hate each other.
Yeah, like Sex in the City, like that always ruins it for me. Like just knowing
they didn't like each other?
Oh, they hated each other.
All 4 of them?
All 4 of them like really did not like Sarah or Jessica Parker.
Was she a diva?
Oh, yeah. And
she's like, I'm the star.
No, truthfully, that's why the reboot, the woman that plays Samantha, like wouldn't come back.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Not that the reboot was good, because Sarah Jessica Parker, I think, had a point. Don't come for me, SJP, but
she's like, I'm way bigger than this show now. I'm just doing you guys a favor.
Yeah.
Which is like, not really, actually. It's what you're known for.
Yeah. Like, put some respect on Sex in the City.
Yeah, come on.
You're not bigger than it.
I don't think I ever finished Sex in the City. I don't remember what season I got to.
It doesn't.
The beginning ones are funny, but it wasn't like enough to keep me watching, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's all I've been up to.
Yeah, and I don't think we have any live shows scheduled just yet, but always make sure to check our Instagram in case, because we post everything there, so.
Yeah, and we will announce it once we have a date.
Absolutely. We have some stuff in the works for sure.
You look so smart with it. She was like, absolutely. And she had her coffee, like, very distinguished looking.
I drink coffee like a boss bitch.
Anyway, so who wants to go first? Do you want to hear my story?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay.
That's what I'm here for.
Okay, I was really excited about it.
Okay, I'm excited.
Because it's a little scary.
Oh, no.
I was like, don't get too excited. But we find humor in it all the time, so it's fine. But I was excited because this one actually had a documentary. And I wasn't going to watch it at first because I was like, I don't have time. But then it was only an hour and I was like, okay, I got to watch it. And I'm glad I did, because the stuff online did not match what actually happened.
Okay.
It kind of did, but not really.
Okay.
So
I'm nervous when she's like, I'm really excited to tell you. And then she's like, because it's scary. I'm like, oh, fuck.
It is scary, but it's almost like, you'll see when I get into it. Because I don't want to discredit anything, but it's almost like so crazy.
Okay.
But then also like, I totally believe her. Like,
okay, tell me.
And it was also filmed.
What is it?
Okay. Wait. There's one more thing. So it is the San Pedro haunting. I didn't realize there's 2 San Pedro hauntings. And the weird thing about it is they both hire the same paranormal investigator to come investigate it. So I was writing this story and I was like pretty much almost done with it. And I was like, wait a minute. Like the things I heard about this, I didn't even come across it when I was like looking things up. And I was like, hold on. And then I Googled it and this whole other story comes up. And I was like, wait, that's the one I wanted to do.
Oh, no.
So I rewrote it today. But weird that they had the exact same paranormal investigator and it's in the same area. It's not the same house. I looked it up. They're not related. But anyway, that was a fun fact. Maybe I'll tell that one at some point since I already wrote it. But
San Pedro Part 2.
Yeah, San Pedro Part 2. Okay, so The story begins in 1988 when Jackie Hernandez moves into a small bungalow in San Pedro, California, with her 2-year-old son and pregnant with her daughter after leaving a difficult marriage. At first, the home feels quiet, ordinary, like a chance to start over, but within a short period of time, of course, small disturbances begin to interrupt the sense of normalcy. Jackie notices objects being found in different places than where she remembers leaving them, doors open and close on their own without anyone nearby, and at times she hears footsteps moving through the house when it should be completely quiet. Even her son begins reacting to something unseen, often staring into hallways or corners or just like acknowledging something that's not there.
Son?
2.
No.
Mm-mm.
Don't love that.
Me neither. Kids don't lie.
Kids don't lie.
So these early events are subtle, almost easy to dismiss individually, but together shit starts getting weird. So as the days turn into weeks, the activity becomes harder to ignore and more difficult to explain away. Jackie and her son both begin hearing heavy footsteps moving above them in the attic and through the ceiling, like the sound of someone pacing or dragging something, which we hate a drag noise.
I feel like when the spirits drag something, they're doing it on purpose.
They're
Like,
totally, it's intentional.
it's definitely intentional.
They're like, you hear that drag?
I know that was the thing that pissed me off the most. The murders pissed me off the most about the Velasca Axe murders. But when we were talking about when he was dragging, I was like, come on now.
That's exactly what I thought of too, because the dragging was in that house too, and it was also in the attic. It always has to be spooky in the attic.
They were taking notes from the Velasca.
This ghost?
Yeah.
I think I think so.
There's ghost networking parties and stuff.
They're like, you totally got that from the Velasca.
He's like, have you tried dragging yet?
He's like, I actually didn't. And you'll see he adds a couple more things you might have heard of, I feel like. So knocking begins inside the walls, sometimes loud enough to be heard in multiple rooms at once. Kind of annoying. You'd like hear it in one room, then the other would be like, stop. Especially if you're trying to sleep. Like, come on.
Yeah. Inside the walls, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take an axe to that wall.
Oh.
Whoa. Somebody in there?
Gotcha. So we covered the sounds, and then comes the visuals. Jackie reports sightings of shadow-like figures inside the home. Human-shaped, but without clear detail, appearing for only seconds in hallways or near doorways before vanishing. And she also said in the documentary she had a cat and it would chase the dark figures like around the house, which is kind of funny. It's very cat thing to do.
They don't care.
No, they're like, oh, you're playing with me.
Yeah,
I got you. So she called her ex-husband Al and asked him to come over so that he could witness what she was experiencing. She said that he suggested calling the spirit out because he was there for a while and nothing was happening. So he's like, let's just like call it out. So he said, spirit, show yourself.
Oh no, don't do that.
So after a long period of time, nothing happened. And Al is quoted saying that he thought she was just lonely and wanted attention, which rude.
That's so rude.
I know, such a dick. No wonder they're divorced.
You should not. You should be a marriage therapist.
I know. The one choice you made right was leaving Al.
Mm-hmm.
So he left. After he left, she went to get something out of the closet where she found written in red and blue crayon all over the wall was Al.
In crayon? It's the 2-year-old. Is it?
It's not.
Oh.
It's because it's like way up. It's like too tall for the 2-year-old.
Levitating.
Now we got a levitating child on our hands. A little more terrifying than the poltergeist. So I don't know if this was within the same night or maybe like a day later or something. But since all of the action was coming from the attic, all the noises and everything, it just seemed to like gravitate towards the attic. She decided to get up on the washer where she could reach the attic door, since that's, like I said, where all the sounds are coming from. And so she like peeked her head out, like in there. And she said she felt like something was watching her, like from the back of her head.
Ew.
And that's when she turned around and she said she saw like a ghostly looking, like disembodied head.
Stop.
But it like the way she describes it is it looks like it's like floating. And then she said it like started coming at her.
Stop.
And she fell off the washer.
I would too.
I was like, oh my
Don't
God,
laugh. That's
just the head.
terrifying.
Like, and she described it as like a chubby head.
Okay.
Just the head.
Well, that's rude.
Now you're body shaming the head.
You head shaming?
Head shaming, man? Not cool. L Jackie.
He's like, wait, what?
I said L Jackie. W Ghost.
No, he just is coming up and he's like, noggin.
Biggest noggin of your life. He just like, slammed into her head. All he got was a head. So she said that since she was pregnant, she'd be up throughout the night, often having to use the restroom. But the weird thing is she would always wake up at exactly midnight. She said things would always happen when she would wake up at midnight. She said one time she was, I don't know, maybe the hallway or something. And all of the windows around her, they had, wait, hang on. Okay, that's what she called them. She had, the window shades were down and they all went up at once.
Mm.
What?
Just keep going.
Okay.
Finding this Jackie a little suspicious.
I will say, I feel like she seemed believable watching the documentary. But we'll get into that. So, one presence in particular scared the shit out of her. It was an elderly male figure. He had sunken eyes and what she described as a twisted smile. She described him looking like a corpse and like he had gray skin. And his clothes looked like it was like drenched, like wet or something.
Ew.
She said that he was looming over her son's crib when he looked at her and vanished. And she screamed, as you would.
Sure.
And then she called her friend Susan.
Susan.
Mm-hmm. Susan to the rescue. Kind of.
Oh.
I mean, she's not a Ghostbuster, but like, at least she has a friend.
Susan's just like, that sucks. I don't know.
She's like, this is a shitty situation you got going on here.
I'm here to listen, but I will not be coming over.
And I also don't have any spare bedrooms.
Yeah. You're not bringing that over to my house.
Keep it over here or over there. Over the following days, Jackie and Susan were outside when they saw her landlord, and she told him what was happening. And the landlord was like, you should call a priest. And she was like, okay. And so he knew of some, and he contacted a group of local priests who agreed to visit the home, hoping that they could clear out some negative entities. But the priests were no help. Instead of blessing the place, they told her that her house wasn't haunted. But they were also like, girl, you are also possessed by the devil.
What?
So, and then they left.
I'm sorry.
Kind of rude. Like, she's like distressed, and they're like, you are.
It's not haunted. It's actually a you problem.
You actually have real bad energy.
Yeah.
So, to make it worse, the next day, Child Protective Services randomly showed up to determine if Jackie was using drugs while pregnant.
Oh my God.
So they called
the
CPS
priests?
on her.
Oh my God. Did they not know that snitches get stitches?
They apparently do not. And I hope that
priests are above that rule.
Or maybe they work for the entities. I didn't think about that.
The priests?
Mm-hmm. You never know.
I like you coming up with a conspiracy.
Double agent.
Yeah. That would honestly be the hide in plain
movie
sight.
plot.
Yeah, hide in plain sight.
Yeah.
You'll never be suspicious of a priest working for a demon.
Yeah. And it's like if a priest says you're possessed by the devil, that's like the biggest insult ever.
That's the scariest thing.
It is scary too. So they called CPS on her because they thought she was hallucinating and taking drugs that make you hallucinate. And so anyway, at that time, she's probably feeling like, damn,
That's
my ex-husband thinks I'm like desperate over here. These priests call me
the devil.
The devil. So a few days later after that, while Jackie was bringing in groceries, she noticed that her magnetic refrigerator letters were deliberately arranged and they spelled the words "get out."
Just do that.
And it only gets weirder from here. So one evening, Jackie was cleaning up in the kitchen when she saw and smelled a foul-smelling, dark red substance coming from the attic, like the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
It disappeared after a while, but reoccurred over time again and again. She said she felt like she would like mop it up and then it'd be back later. But she said the stench was unbearable. It smelled metallic and rotting.
Oh.
And it sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
Like to add on top of all the other shit. And then also around that time, she began seeing ghostly orbs flying across the room. So we're adding another phenomenon to the mix. And then she said this was usually accompanied by sounds coming from the ceiling. Then the heavy footsteps, dragging sounds, and a slow and rhythmic pounding. Never mind. I repeat myself like 20 times about it coming from the attic.
Where's it coming from?
It's coming from the attic.
Oh.
In case you ever forget.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably remind you another like
That's
50
fine.
times. So Jackie later admitted that this was the point where she really thought she was losing her mind, which I feel like is really sad because I feel like that happens sometimes with the hauntings where it's like nobody believes you and all this weird shit's happening.
Right.
But she had her friend Susan. So Susan had another idea. So Susan connected her with a well-known parapsychologist, Dr. Barry Taff, who had investigated hundreds of hauntings across the country. And as we know, another one in San Pedro as well. Taff assembled a small team, including photographer Jeff Wheatcraft, Wheatcraft?
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool last name.
Yeah.
And she described him more like he was a little on edge to be there. He wasn't super excited about it. And then videographer Barry Conrad, and she described him as looking like it was like Christmas Eve, and he was like real excited for this investigation.
How old was he?
I don't know. They might be in like their mid-late 30s, because in the video they look pretty young.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know their titles, but they're like professional photographers and videographers.
I know. I just like, I imagine like the young kid being
like,
like,
I know. So anyway, they were there to document what was happening in San Pedro as Barry Taft did his interviewing. So the moment they entered the house, the atmosphere changed, the temperature dropped, the odor of whatever was coming through the ceiling filled the air, and then they began hearing the banging. He said that, so this is a quote from Barry Taff. He said, "We kept hearing what sounded like a 200-pound rat running around up there."
Ew.
Just imagine a 200-pound rat.
I mean, I probably would take that over whatever's going on with.
No, I would too. You're right.
I don't really want the devil.
If they really went up there and it was a 200-pound rat, I'd be like, okay.
Then that's a monetization opportunity. You have a 200-pound rat.
I know.
Sell tickets to come see it.
So anyway, Jeff, the one who wasn't pumped to be there, went up there first to take some photos. He began snapping photos when Barry, thinking about Jackie's experience of the disembodied head being behind her, he suggested holding the camera over his shoulder and snapping photos like this.
Oh, no.
So like he'd be facing the other way.
Mm-hmm.
So he did that. The first snap, second snap, then at the third, all of a sudden, he said it felt like someone grabbed the lens and yanked it out of his hand. And so the camera's not with him anymore. He basically flew out of the attic, But then after calming down, and I thought this was kind of funny, he said his first thought was expensive camera. Oh. So he went back up there to retrieve it. But what was odd was the lens had been disconnected from the camera and they were in opposite sides of the room. And he said with that particular Canon camera, or to be honest, I feel like any lens in a camera, you can't just yank it out. Like there's like a way. You gotta
like twist it.
Yeah.
Right?
And so that's what he says. And that's why he's kind of like, something's not right about that. Like someone deliberately took it off.
Rats couldn't do that.
It definitely wasn't the 200-pound rat. Yeah. The rat is like, okay, 200 pounds. The camera adds 150 pounds. Okay.
Also, please don't put my weight on the internet.
Like, that's such a rude assumption.
Yeah. It's actually 190. Thank you. I've been working on it.
So 199.8.
You weighed me later in the day.
He's like, weigh me first thing in the morning, all right?
Then I'm 195. At a big lunch. Sorry. We can move on from the rat.
Moving on from Mr. Rat. Later that evening, Jeff and Barry Conrad decide to go up there to record and take photos. The first thing that happened is the camera kept dying. And then once it would die, they'd go back down and it would turn on. So it didn't actually die. It'd be like full battery. And they're like, okay.
We've experienced that.
We have experienced that numerous times with our podcast. I know. I'm like, actually, let me make sure it's still on. Kind of annoying when they do that.
I feel like after we had that talk with the spirits, they've been kind of chill about not messing with that. You know what I mean?
That is true.
Which we appreciate. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. The last time they turned it off was at Jared's live, which thank God for the other mics.
Shout out to Norman.
Shout out Norman. So when they were up there, Jeff said he felt a force behind him, like slowly pushing him forward. And he said it felt like a huge bony hand.
Ew.
And he was so freaked out in the moment. He was kind of frozen because he's like, I didn't want to turn around at that time.
Yeah.
And then he said Barry was just staring at him like, what are you doing? Because like he couldn't see anything behind him.
Okay.
And he also said that Jeff had like a weird look on his face too. So he didn't know if he was like in a kind of like in a trance or if he was just shocked. It sounded like he was just shocked or maybe a little bit of both. But finally it stops and he snaps out of whatever it was and they go back down. While all the investigators and Jackie and Susan are standing below the attic, they begin to smell the foul smell again. And it gets so like thick in the air, it actually makes them like nauseous. Because it is bad.
Yikes.
Then they begin hearing a pounding above them in the attic. Jeff gets up on the washer to take a look when he sees 3 bright flashes of light. And then it goes dark. What he describes after that is like seeing, he said it looks like a cloak, but it like 3 like large men would have fit under it. It just sounds kind of funny to think about, but it just like sounds like a really big massive person. And he says he sees him walk across the attic and just vanish. They ended the investigation that night. Sound like they like captured kind of a lot, and they're like, you know what, we're gonna call it a night. Yeah. And they what?
Good enough.
Yeah, good enough. It's haunted.
Yeah,
check
confirmed.
And they had planned for another investigation and interview, but they ended up receiving a call from Jackie before the planned event. Jackie was frantic, and she said she had just been assaulted by something, and she was on the phone with them. She said, or while she was on the phone with them, she said something was thrown at the back of her head, and she would go silent for a while. And you can also, like, they have the recording, like, in the recording. Or they have the recording in the video.
Okay,
sorry.
So like the phone call. Yeah.
Yeah. So they end up going over there. They get to the house. Jeff goes up to the attic and is looking around. And at this point, the other investigators hear a commotion kind of going on in another part of the house. And Jeff says, well, there's really nothing going on up here anyway, so I'll come back down. And then all of a sudden they say they hear Jeff yell, and you can hear it on the video too. And he drops his flashlight And he says after that, he doesn't remember anything, just bits and pieces.
Oh, no.
And in another room, Al, Jackie's ex-husband, says at the same time, he hears a voice clearly say, "Get them the hell out of here." And he said it was so clear, like it felt like someone in their room, and there was like people in the house that he thought it was just like one of them.
Right.
And he's like, "I can't, it's not my house." But then he turned around and nobody was there.
Oh my God.
So back to Jeff. Gary, another cameraman, said he was looking up in the attic and he remembers Jeff is wearing a white shirt. So without lighting, he can kind of see him standing there, but he notices he's not standing up straight. Like he's kind of like sideways. And Gary can't see since Jeff dropped the flashlight and only had one between the two of them, which they should have more investigators.
Idiots.
So he uses his camera flash to get a look when he sees Jeff hanging by a clothesline around his neck.
Tayler.
So he gets up there and he's snapping the camera so he can see him. And he's like, so he's obviously it's an attic. It's not super tall. He's not like hanging at the very top of the ceiling, but he's like kind of hanging off and he's like holding on to the beams a little bit, but he looks like out of it. Because there's obviously pictures. So they eventually get him down and he has a red line around his neck because it was that tight.
Oh my God.
I know. He says that like during that time, like he kind of remembers him like getting him and he kept trying to rationalize what happened and his brain just like couldn't because he was just like, there was nobody in here. Like we cleared the whole attic. Like what happened? So during this chaos, Jackie's baby, because somewhere between the very beginning and now she gave birth. They didn't really bring that up in there, but it was a baby. She had a distinct red mark on her forehead. And they have this in the video too. Like it's very red. And she's like in a little carrier. So it's like nothing happened. And at that point she was like, no, like kids are off limits. Like if it does something to me or like anyone else. And so they end the investigation. The next morning, Jackie got her kids and left. She found a trailer where things were calm for a while.
Oh, no.
But it ended up following her there and to like a few homes after that. So that is terrifying. And there's more to that story too, but I feel like this would just get really long if we continued with her story, but we could always do a part 2. But to this day, this haunting is very well documented, which makes it, I feel like, so much scarier.
Right.
Backed with photographs, videos, and witnesses, but still, I guess, remains kind of unsolved because I don't know.
I think you need to do a part 2. I want to know what happened.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I did. Okay, maybe our next episode, I'll do a part 2.
Yeah.
Along with a short story or something.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
I wish I did. Dang it.
No.
Do you want to see the picture?
No, I do not. I really don't.
I won't show you.
Do you want to see the picture?
Can you post it on Instagram though?
Can you? I really don't want to see it.
Okay. I got kicked out of Instagram. So you might have to do it.
Well, that'll be an offline discussion.
But anyway, so that is the story of the San Pedro haunting.
That was crazy. That was so good.
Thank you. It didn't sound too rushed.
No.
Okay, because I was like literally watching and writing at the same time. It's like, oh God, get that in there. So I felt like I was writing so many random facts. I was like, I'll worry about putting it into like a story later.
No, that was nuts. That was crazy. I don't like that. I hate when it can like I feel like I watched some like ghost shows when I was like younger, and there would always be like stories about people like with bite marks and like marks and stuff, and that shit just like,
it's scary.
it just gets me because it's like, okay, like the knocking, whatever, like it's spooky.
Yeah.
But when it's like harming
Physical.
you, that's crazy.
I know. And I feel like, I don't know. Because remember when we did, the Villisca axe murders, when she went to the actual house and she felt that energy and she was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I just feel like it has to be something with that much energy to be able to do something like that.
It's a super ghost.
So that's why I was like, it is a super ghost. That's why I was like, it's a lot, the story. But I was like, I believe her. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad because I was just, like, there was some stuff where I was just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? But yikes.
Yeah. And I don't know if, because so I watched the documentary on YouTube, but I know there's like an official documentary. So I don't know if this was showing like all of the footage or if there's more. So I'm wondering, because I didn't see any of the red substance stuff. That was the only thing I was kind of like,
yeah,
what coming from the ceiling? Like if they checked the attic to see where it was coming from. Not saying I don't believe it, but I would be interested to see that.
Yeah.
Just to see. I don't know.
Well, and especially if like they were saying that one person was seeing something and another person wasn't seeing it, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like maybe they can't even get that on footage.
That's true. Yeah, because they did say obviously Jackie was a target, and then Jeff. It kept bothering Jeff too. So, good point.
Just don't have a J name, and then you're.
It's definitely the J's.
Yep.
Thank God we don't.
Thank God.
But anyway, do you want to take a break and then get into your story?
Yeah, let's do it.
And we're back.
We're back, and Tayler, I've got something to tell you. So tonight, I'm going to be telling you about the Du Pont murder, or what most people know as the Foxcatcher case. This is the death of Olympic wrestler Dave Schultz by the hands of John du Pont at Foxcatcher Farm.
Ooh.
Said, you might know this one.
The name sounded familiar.
There's a 2014 movie with Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo that is based off of this.
What's the movie called?
Foxcatcher.
I don't think I've seen it.
Okay.
But that's not what sounded familiar to me. The Du Pont did.
Du Pont.
I don't know why. Maybe someone else has the last name.
Maybe. Okay, but I feel like this also like unlocked something within me because I didn't realize how interested I am in like athletic deaths, if that makes sense. Because remember I did Chris
like
Benoit?
Athletes?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I've been listening to a podcast about Aaron Hernandez. And I guess it isn't technically an athletic death, but like been listening to a podcast about Aaron Hernandez. And then I'm also watching a Netflix series about the Trailblazers, which again, like, not that all of these are deaths, but they're all sports related and true crime. And I'm sort of like, I didn't know I had this like niche interest in myself.
Isn't that weird though? When you start reading about something, you're like, whoa, I'm really into this.
Yeah, like it's been kind of fun.
Maybe because it's like people you wouldn't really think because it blends into like, I don't know, like entertainment kind of. So it's weird.
Like it's weird. I know what you mean. Like, but okay. So Foxcatcher is starring Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo. And while the movie, and I watched it multiple times, is tragic and dark, the true case is tragicer and darker.
Whoa.
Truly, this one does piss me off, though, because like all of these stories really piss me off. But what I really hate is when I feel like the writing is on the wall and nobody's doing anything to stop it.
Oh.
Like you can see what's going to spiral. And like
they just let it unravel.
It just seems like nobody is stepping in. And that's why it's like nobody should have had to die in this story. Unfortunately, somebody does.
Oh no.
Okay, so where we are going to start today is with the people that matter the most in this story, which are the victims, the Schultz brothers, Dave and Mark Schultz. And now Dave is the one that is going to be murdered, but Mark is equally a victim in this story. So now, the Schultz brothers, these two were and still are legends in the wrestling world. And when we're talking wrestling, we're talking like the onesie wrestling, not like the WWE wrestling.
I don't really know which ones are the onesies.
Like the little outfits, the like.
No, like I know what a onesie is, but like what kind of wrestling is that? Is it
like
older?
wrestling, not like WWE wrestling. Where
like real wrestling?
Like, okay. I didn't say it.
I feel like you made me say that. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say like not the ring wrestling where they're like jumping off of things, but like where they're like
okay
on the ground, like wrestling.
Wrestling around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these two guys, again, legends in the wrestling world. And everything I have read or researched is that these two were objectively two of the best wrestlers the United States has ever produced.
Dang.
And it's wild because they are brothers, so there's something in the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
But so Mark is the younger brother. He was described as super intense, extremely competitive, like tunnel vision, locked in all the time. Like wrestling was life.
Nice.
And Dave is the older brother, and it's always how it works. They have like kind of different personalities. And Dave is like, the way people have described him is that he was just like the loveliest person.
Oh.
Like he was a big brother to everybody. He would take time to coach other wrestlers, like all of this stuff. One of the things they also said is that as he got more into like Olympic wrestling, is that he actually learned how to speak Russian because he wanted to be able to communicate with his competitors in a nicer way.
I love that.
Okay. I will say though, Mark has been quoted of like, don't let his personality fool you because he destroys people on the mat. So Dave, like, again, has this reputation of being just universally liked. They said he was just this combination of brilliant and kind, but he was also, in particular, like, just insanely good. So I found this fascinating, but Dave was known for almost changing the sport of wrestling. He had a learning disability, but they said that because he had this learning disability, people thought he was, not smart, like he was struggling in school. But when he got on the mat, he would do these different techniques that they've never seen before, and they think it's because of how his like brain functioned. He just thought differently than anybody else, which I found very fascinating and can appreciate.
Yeah.
When I love people taking a different perspective and appreciating different thought processes. Athletes today still study Dave's matches.
Dang.
Like that's how prolific he is.
That's crazy.
But Mark was absolutely right there with him. They both had Olympic medals. They won the gold in 1984. They both were also, and to this day, are the two only brothers to have both won an Olympic medal and world championships.
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
They're both that good.
Yes. Like, so Dave is a little bit more like transformative in the state of wrestling, where Mark was just like pure athlete. They also wrestled at different weight classes. So Dave was about 167 and Mark is about 180.
Oh, okay.
Fun facts. But
doesn't beat the 200-pound rat though.
No. Well, they probably could take him down. I don't know. These guys were kind of crazy. I love one thing that people said about Dave is like he was a little bit smaller, but he had like old man strength. Like, like we don't know where it came from, but that dude could pin you.
Dang.
So we have these two brothers at the top of their sport, but in Olympic or competitive wrestling, there's not much money. They were making money from coaching, some side jobs, some small speaking engagement, but it wasn't much. They were just scraping by. They also, as competitive wrestlers, have a lot of out-of-pocket expensive. Competing is not cheap. They have to pay for their training, travel, room and board, all of it. And then winning competitions doesn't always pay. It just kind of means you move on. So truthfully, the money in this wrestling world was through endorsement, or if someone would sponsor you, I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if you could get like an investor sponsor who was a true blue, deep pocketed multi-billionaire whose family had ungodly amounts of money. And then on top of that, this multi-billionaire also had a hyperfixation on fandom of competitive wrestling. That'd be like the dream, right? Cool. Cue John du Pont. John du Pont comes from money. Like, just to give you a high level of the du Pont family, they first profited through producing gunpowder and providing firearms to the U.S. during the War of 1812, and have since been major suppliers in almost every U.S. war.
Dang.
So they
got big money.
They got big money. They have part ownership in companies such as General Motors, and were contributors to chemical innovations such as Teflon, rayon, nylon, and Kevlar. They have deep money, and it's dark money. Like, the list is not a good list.
Big bad money.
Big bad money. This family is very corrupt.
Okay, yikes.
Today, there are over 3,500 DuPont heirs connected to various companies and the family legacy. So basically, if you have the last name DuPont, or if you're like married into DuPonts, like you have connections to this money. It's insane. In 2024, they were listed on Forbes' list of America's richest families at number 22.
Dang.
So you get it. They have loads of money. They're like American Dynasty level.
Jeez.
So John du Pont is the son of Jean and William DuPont Jr. He's born in 1938, and he grows up in like this massive Pennsylvania estate with, I said, just thousands of silver spoons in his mouth. But John is kind of an odd dude. He's very socially awkward, like does not know how to read a room or naturally connect with another human being. I'm not one to pick on somebody's looks, but this guy seems like fair game.
Go off.
Yeah. I was listening to something on YouTube, and they were like, he like didn't have a chin. And once they said that, I was like, problems I don't have. But
you're like,
what's that feel like? But then he also has this like weird way of speaking. And then I was like, the only way to describe it is to describe it as if you're hearing a guy without a chin talk.
Like he just has no bottom jaw.
Like truthfully though, it's a very strange thing to witness, because like, again, not trying to make fun of anybody, but
also kind of trying to make
like he's fair game. And
I really wish you had some audio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, it's your fault for not watching Foxcatcher. So
do they talk like him in it?
Steve Carell does.
Oh, he plays him?
He plays John DuPont.
How dare they make him the villain?
Oh, he's so good,
I'm just kidding.
And so in the filming of the movie, he like he has some prosthetics on and stuff. Yeah. Because Steve Carell is a handsome man. This man
he absolutely is.
Yeah.
Did they like make it look like he had no chin?
Yeah. And he does this thing where he like talks constantly, where he's like looking up, but like it's like his chin is like to his
like tucked into his neck.
Exactly. Like he definitely has a chin. Okay.
I don't know. It sounds like he doesn't.
But just look him. I'll post a picture of him on Instagram. I won't do your picture, but I'll do mine.
I'll send you mine.
No, it's okay. I don't need that in my phone. But okay, but they talk about how like Steve Carell embodies this guy, and they were just like, they had people that knew him on set, and they were just like his mannerisms, because he had just strange mannerisms that like it was like he was there. Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so just I guess in case this needs to be helpful for visually, Steve Carell plays John DuPont, Channing Tatum plays Mark, and then Mark Ruffalo plays Dave.
Okay.
If that's at all helpful. If not, ignore that section. Oh, well, this also gives you a good idea of who this type of guy is. Okay, so John, odd dude, socially awkward, doesn't know how to read a room, no chin. Moving on. He also gets super into birds.
Okay.
Now I'm sharing this because it just demonstrates that when he gets hyper fixated on something, he gets like really into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so John loves birds and becomes an ornithologist, which is like a professional bird watcher slash bird scientist. And I said most male move ever. It said that he actually discovered about 200 new species of birds.
He discovered 200 species of birds?
Suspect.
Okay, he probably hired somebody to do it.
That's what I said.
Also,
He
it's like,
saw
did he
bird
buy that degree? Like,
he saw a bird one time and he's like, that's new.
that's definitely a new species.
Yeah. He also starts like collecting birds. He even starts this whole bird museum. This was stupid, but I thought it was funny. I was like, okay, so this is how my brain works. I was like, when was Big Bird like created? Because I feel like it would have like blown his mind.
What kind of bird is that?
He's like, whoa. True, though.
They're like, dude, it's a costume. He's like, no.
I discovered it. But he actually was alive when Big Bird like would have been introduced to the world. So I just would have loved to see his reaction seeing Big Bird for the first time.
He's all watching Sesame Street.
Yeah. Well, truthfully, he was born in 1938. Big Bird came on TV in 1969, so he would have been 31. And the way this man-child acts, he probably was.
Chinless motherfucker.
Yeah. This chinless bitch. Okay, so John is a rich, odd dude who clearly has an obsessive personality, but he's not getting much respect, authority, or power through his birds. So he decides he's going to get into Olympic sports. In 1970, he becomes focused on modern pentathlon?
Sounds right to me. I think you nailed it.
Pentathlon. Pentathlon, that's what it is. In 1970, he becomes focused on modern pentathlon, which is a mix of fencing, swimming, shooting, riding, and running. Riding horses and running.
Oh, they said writing. I was like, they just threw writing right in the mix.
Spell.
It's like journaling.
Yeah. But John was a big bird guy, but not really an athlete. So he never really achieved great success. And I also was like, aiming high, you're just going for like all of them?
All or nothing.
All or nothing.
I mean, he became a bird scientist because he likes birds.
He kind of looks like a bird too. Honestly.
The birds are like,
leave us alone.
How dare you?
We have more chin than you.
Chinless bitch.
But so he gets into athletics, but he's basically buying his way onto these teams. Mm-hmm. Like throwing money at like becoming a swimmer, and then he's like, okay, let me jump in the pool one time. You know?
That has to be so annoying for all the other actual athletes. You're like, here we go again.
This is the thing with him, is he is that person where it's just like a personality hire, but with no personality.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He's the worst. So he basically decides like, okay, I can't really actually compete, but I want the respect of like being associated with Olympic athletes. So he basically buys himself a manager position for the 1976 Olympic pentathlon team. He essentially is courtside and gets a coach t-shirt. That is all he's bringing to the table.
I like that. He settled for like, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to be an athlete. I'm going to be the manager.
You kind of sounded like him because he kind of talks like this.
I was actually trying to.
Yeah, you embodied it. My description, yeah. So he's a manager for this Olympic team. And that's when he discovers Olympic wrestling. And he loves wrestling because of the power, the aesthetic. Like, these guys are just like yoked out of their mind. But there's also a level of like dominance in wrestling, which nobody can confirm why he gets into it. I feel like it's the dominance.
Like he gets into wrestling
people,
because of the dominance?
Yeah, like there's definitely a power struggle, or like he wants power, he wants recognition, he wants to overpower people. And I feel like that's what attracts him to wrestling. So this is when John goes full obsessive mode. John du Pont, at 50 years old, decides he's going to buy build a full Olympic level training facility on his property.
Of course he is.
And he's going to call it Foxcatcher Farm. So Foxcatcher Farm is like a compound. It's got a training facility, homes for these prospective athletes, and then the main house, which is John du Pont's house, and it's this mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So he builds this farm and he starts connecting with Olympic wrestlers, getting into the circuit until he finally gets to one of our brothers, Mark Schultz. So remember, the Schultz brothers are at the top of their game competitively, but John knows the lives of these athletes. He's been around them and he knows that he can offer the brothers something that they do not have, which is money. Mm. He invites Mark out to his estate in Pennsylvania, the massive property where with more space and resources than most training facilities that Mark could ever dream of. And he tells Mark, essentially, you can come here, you can live here, you can train here. You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to worry about where you're going next. You can just focus on being the best, which Mark is like, great. So to John, Mark is this elite, is the elite and on an upward trajectory. And basically, John can ride the coattails. And then to Mark, John is the funding. He can offer Mark the facility and the money he needs to continue to compete. So Mark says yes and moves his entire life to Foxcatcher Farm, where he starts building Team Foxcatcher. And at first, everything is going great. So Mark's going to build this like competitive, wrestling community. John gets to be a part of it and have a friend that basically he's paying to live with him. Everything's going great. They get what they want. Mark is building his team, has a place to train, doesn't have to worry about money, and John is getting what he wants. He's surrounded by Olympic athletes who respect him, and he has authority over them, or at least the illusion of authority. But all of this does not last long. Oh. Because now John doesn't just want to be the funding anymore. He sees Mark kind of taking on more of the respect as the team leader. So now John wants that. And he decides he's going to be the one running the team. He decides, look at me. I'm the coach now.
And get in the ring, John.
Oh, he does.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And because John is the one with the money, he's the one providing them all with a place to live. They'd all be back struggling if they didn't have him. So they just kind of like go along with it. Like, sure, Coach John.
I just realized he's like the ultimate pick-me.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like, okay, so there's a few documentaries about this, and like the guys that were part of the wrestling team, like Team Foxcatcher, are part of it. And I feel like it is kind of like a pity for him because he is such an odd guy that their hearts are like in the right place of kind of like looking out for him, like he's
who looking out for
the wrestlers are like looking out for John. Like he's kind of like,
I mean, that makes sense because in that moment he didn't do anything yet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like they're kind of like they're the cool guys, he's the nerd
with the money.
I'm just saying, like, there's some things where like, okay, we're gonna get into it. Okay, so John takes over as the coach of Team Foxcatcher, requiring that everyone refer to him as coach or mentor, or, and this is my favorite, that they also should refer to him as Eagle, which I was like, of course, it's a bird.
Stage now. He's like, I actually discovered eagles.
I don't know if you've heard this about me.
So I will call myself Eagle.
Yeah, but he self-appointed that nickname, which red flag everywhere. But they're like, okay, sure, you want to be called coach, whatever, we'll humor you. So it's like, okay, it's weird. He's kind of annoying, but is it worth blowing up this entire situation over? Not really. Then it gets stranger. Because John goes from kind of an eccentric billionaire to like full-blown psycho.
Oh, no.
John openly uses drugs, specifically cocaine, around Mark, often pressuring Mark to partake as well. John is visibly drunk almost 24/7. There's one instance where Team Foxcatcher was at a party that John had put together where other athletes, investors, and Olympic staff were present, and John began crawling on the ground like a dog. Just to list a few other things that he did that were unhinged. He bought a tank.
Uh-oh.
That he would just drunkenly drive around.
That's very scary.
Yeah. He drove one of his cars into a lake at the farm that he almost drowned in. He survived, but then just did it again the next day. He removed all of the treadmills from the farm because he thought they were listening to him.
The treadmills?
The treadmills.
Not the treadmills.
This is rough. He also became afraid of the color black. So anything that was black in the farm, he had removed. Anybody that had a t-shirt on, anybody that drove a black car, also anybody that was black.
Okay.
It's really...
I feel like I saw that coming.
Yeah.
You're like, you can say you're afraid of black, but you are racist.
He's
sir.
a racist scumbag. Yeah. Okay, so John is riding tanks, removing being racist, but saying it's because it's something else. So just to add to all of this insanity, John is in his mid-50s and decides he is going to compete in a senior wrestling tournament, and Mark is going to train him. There's video of this man competing.
I feel like it has to be hard to watch.
It's super hard to watch. And it's very obvious that it's fixed. Like, it's like, so John, again, visibly is a thinner, weird, awkward man.
He's not a wrestler.
He's not an athlete.
Yeah.
And he's competing against what could be described as athletic 50-year-old men who are just clearly letting him win. And then it is very visible in some of the documentary that they are handing these men money for letting John win.
They're like, yeah, let this loser win for some cash.
But John loves it. Like, and the wrestlers in Foxcatcher are just like, we loved seeing him so happy. Like, it's just kind of sad.
It's like a little pathetic, but they're like,
so
you know what?
pathetic.
It makes his day.
But so John is like fully spiraling. And in his mind, though, he's achieved full-on greatness in the world of wrestling. He's got an Olympic team, a Schultz brother, basically at his beck and call. And now he's got wrestling trophies himself. That they could have handed him any trophy.
Wrestling trophies in air quotes.
Yes. However, Mark is struggling. In my mind, he's basically being held like almost like hostage. He's being forced to do drugs and party with John, which is against like all the things he's done as a professional athlete.
Yeah.
This is when Dave steps back in.
Mm-hmm.
So Dave is very concerned about Mark and this weird billionaire compound that he's been living on. He can also see that Mark's performance in matches is subpar. So Dave decides it's time to come back into Mark's life. Because Dave was also asked to join the team or come train at Foxcatcher Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And he said no because he had a family. And he's like, I'm not about to go move to this weird billionaire's wrestling farm. But so now that he sees that Mark is in such a bad space, Dave joins Mark and John as a coach of Team Foxcatcher, and this changes everything. Dave is prolific. He thinks differently. He has that personality that people are drawn to. He's always had a natural aura that people respect without the need to ask for it. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, he actually knows what he's doing. And so when he shows up, that is a huge threat to John. So also, remember how I mentioned the DuPont family had deep ties to gunpowder and firearms?
Yeah.
You know? Well, John du Pont definitely kept that family legacy alive by stocking Foxcatcher Farm with loads of guns.
Jeez.
We are talking, I mean, he had a tank. How did you not see this coming?
That is true.
Yeah.
He's like planning a full-on war in his...
Yeah. And the police very much knew about it, but because it's the DuPont family, they didn't do anything about it. He also opened his own like
shooting
range that he would have the police force come and train at. He also, as part of this whole compound, would allow the police force to come live there.
Okay.
Yeah. So all of this is happening. Nothing is being done about it.
Yeah.
So when Dave started at Foxcatcher Farm, John began bringing guns into the training facility, into Team Foxcatcher. He'd carry one. Sometimes he would set one off to get the team's attention.
Don't like that.
Nope. Again, everybody saw this happening. And it's not like the team didn't know that the guns were around before. They just like, John is definitely making them known and seen at this point.
Yeah. And it's like pairing that with like him loving the dominance and then also being on cocaine. It's a little scary.
Yep. And drunk.
Yeah.
All the time.
All in the mix.
Yeah. This is not this is a cocktail for disaster. And then we get even more, can you believe it? We get even more unhinged.
Oh no. Because
John hires his own documentary team to come in and film his self-proclaimed excellence.
Just imagine it like mockumentary style.
It kind of,
I'm doing all the wrong things.
It kind of feels that way. Like it feels a little jury duty where like everybody else is terrified. Like instead of everybody else being actors, everybody else is terrified and John's the only one that's
having
like,
a good time.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So John forces the entirety of Team Foxcatcher to participate in the documentary, sitting in on their interviews and requiring them, often with a gun visible, to use certain phrases like, John is a mentor to me. I wouldn't be here without Coach John. Like, they show it as if, like, they're interviewing him and he's just sitting off to the side with, like, click, click.
Say it again?
Yeah.
So it's like a cult?
It is. Yes. And I said it's like horror movie level of like psychological dominance. So they know they need him, but at the same time, they're like,
I know something's up.
Oh, they know something.
But it's like working for me, kind of.
Yeah. Which is scary. Then, if you can believe it, John spirals even more. He starts making accusations that people are spying on him. I said, like, maybe people are following him and watching him. And I was like, maybe like the documentary film crew that you hired.
He's like, there's these people with cameras. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
I found a microphone on me.
They're like, John, you put it on yourself.
We did that 15 minutes ago.
We told you there was going to be a mic check. But okay, so to me, he is feeding people lines. He is producing his own documentary. And then his paranoia is growing. So to me, it's like almost he's like producing his own reality show, but like the reality is blurring his delusions with reality.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, though, in his mind, everyone around him is now against him. If they go off script, even without the cameras, that's a sign that they're conspiring against him. If they are not around when he didn't even invite them to be around, they are conspiring against him. So he believes that there is a plot to take him down. And at the center of the plot was the guy that everyone just seemed to love, the guy that came in and stole John's spotlight, his team, everything that he built, and that was Dave Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no documented moment of why this day happened the way that it did. I'm sure it's just a buildup of John's mind going absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
But on January 26, 1996, which Foxcatcher Farm, Team Foxcatcher, had been operating since about 1986. So January 26, 1996. This is why this pisses me off, is that this has been going on for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Foxcatcher Farm, 10 years of psychological breakdown, torment, abuse, threats. John du Pont drove his car from his main home to Dave Schultz's home, and without saying a word, walks up to Dave in the driveway, and Dave's working on his car. John shoots Dave 3 times at close range.
Jeez.
All of this was witnessed by Dave's wife and surviving widow, Nancy,
Aww.
from their house. Yes.
Traumatizing.
After John shot Dave, he gets into his car and calmly drives back to his mansion. Nancy calls authorities, who are like, well, shit, this isn't just a shooting. This is a DuPont shooting. They know this family, they know this compound, and they know it is full of weapons because they've been there.
Yeah.
So the authorities show up with tactical units. They surround the property. They are dealing with a man who is so paranoid that he is not negotiating or standing down, and they can reach him via phone, so they're talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he has barricaded himself in his library that he had paid to make into a bomb shelter. Which
Oh, God.
That's not the most shocking thing to me. That's just on par with what this guy did. So this goes on for 2 days where they're talking to him, trying to get him out. They're like, John, we know you, we know your family, like, come out. And he's like, you don't know who I am. Like, this is all recorded. So like,
They should have been like, John, we got a trophy.
yeah, come out. So after 2 days, they decide they are going to cut the heat to his home. And it's in the middle of winter in Pennsylvania, so they're basically freezing him out.
Mm-hmm.
And it works. After 48 hours of the standoff, John du Pont finally exits and is tackled by 6 police officers. He's taken to custody and put on trial. The defense argues that basically he's insane. He didn't know what he was doing, which isn't wrong, but it isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, John du Pont was mentally ill. He was proven and diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic. But that is not how the insanity innocent argument works. Like, also because just because you're a paranoid schizophrenic does not make you kill people.
Mm-hmm.
The insanity plea is for the people who do things out of not knowing the difference between right and wrong. It is not like you just killed somebody in a moment of anger. You don't just kill people.
Yeah.
John du Pont knew what he was doing. He was aware that killing a person was not a good thing to do. So the verdict comes back guilty, but mentally ill.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're mentally ill, but
You're still guilty.
yeah. So February 25th, 1997, he was convicted for third-degree murder and sentenced to 13 to 30 years in prison. Wild that. Like 13 to 30.
Yeah, like, why not life?
Why not life?
There's like a few other little things that he did aside from murder too.
Yeah, how about that tank thing?
How about everything?
Yeah. So Nancy, Dan Schultz's widow, receives a settlement of $35 million for the death of her husband. In 2010, John du Pont died at age 72 in prison. I also found this hilarious. I think he probably thought it was badass, but John du Pont was buried in a Team Foxcatcher onesie.
That's embarrassing.
Mark Schultz went on to write a book. Mark Schultz went on to write a book called Foxcatcher, The True Story of My Brother's Murder, John du Pont's Madness, and the Quest for Olympic Gold. I also read that it's weirdly got a lot of humor in it, but I sort of think that says a lot about how people process trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2014, the movie Foxcatcher was released, starring Steve Carell, Channing Tatum, and Mark Ruffalo.
Mm-hmm.
It is nominated for Academy Awards, but it loses to Birdman. I've seen both of them.
Which one do you like better?
For the purpose of this story, I like yeah. And Mark Schultz had initial criticisms of the movie. He felt there were sexual undertones between his character, played by Channing Tatum, and du Pont, Steve Carell's character, which there definitely is implications in the movie of sexual assault.
Mm.
I could not find anything that confirmed it, and Mark has spoken out aggressively that there was no.
Oh, okay. That kind of sucks that they did that.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But he later softened, and he still has issues with it, but he said it was an okay movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is the true and sad case of what should have been and could have been stopped. But that is the death and murder of Dave Schultz, or the Foxcatcher murder.
That was a good one.
Thanks.
I mean, I hate that his brother died, but I love that he went to go save him.
Yeah.
I'm taking you out of
He
here.
could tell there was something off.
Yeah. Which sibling thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah.
Loved it.
Thanks.
So anyway, not my brain crying. That wraps up our episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to send us any stories or want to comment on something, you can email us at
IGSTTYstories@gmail.com.
Or you can comment on social media or DM us at
IGSTTYpod. We're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
all of the social medias.
All of them.
All of them. And then please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Yeah. We would really appreciate it. It helps us with, the rankings and everything like that on all of the different streaming services. So,
yeah.
And
some people have been, which
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for that. But anyway, thanks for listening.
Later.